Heidi ho, Arkansas Pilgrim here again, out in the garden. Out in my garden trying to keep up, doing a pretty good job with what I've got out here, even though I had plans to have a lot more planted. And yeah, there's my boy over in the background there, mowing the lawn. That's that sound. Something that I should have done already, but I haven't, is doing some companion planting for the tomatoes to try to prevent tomato hornworms. Dill works really well. I had some stuff that I saved, dill seeds, out in the barn. It was sealed up, but it's been hot and cold. I don't know if they're going to do any good, but I'm going to go ahead and plant them anyway because, and if they come up, great. If not, I'm going to, see if I can get some dill seeds at Walmart or something next time I'm in there. I'm not going to worry about trying to order them online or anything. But yeah, that's what I'm about to do here. If you plant dill and the dill grows up with the tomatoes, it will prevent tomato hornworms. I did it when I was growing in that thing. I planted dill in between I had Roma tomatoes there. And yeah, here he comes. Oh, he's coming close. Here we go. Well, here he goes. Well, he did a good job of hiding himself there. Anyway, the only tomato hornworms I had were on like one plant that was on the corner of the planter bed, and the dill grew up all in between, and I didn't use sawdust. I didn't use anything. So companion planting works, especially with dill and tomato. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, before I plant the seeds, I'm going to do a little watering. This mulch and everything has been keeping the soil pretty moist, but it's still just my beginnings of the Back to Eden garden, so still have to water, or at least water more often. But since I'm going to be putting some seeds in, I want to go ahead and get it moistened a bit. All right, I'm tired of bending over a lot as I'm old, so got myself a stick. I'm going to just poke a hole, and since I'm not sure of the germination rate of these, which may end up being 0, I'm going to dump a whole bunch in. So I'm just going to put a whole bunch in my hand here first, and let's just see how this goes. Go ahead and there we go. I'll come back and cover them up. Just go through and make a few holes here first, and bend over a little bit, make sure some of these seeds actually get into the hole. And I'm covering these up a little. Little gardening tip, I guess. I had forgotten that I had saved banana peels. This is years back when I was actually gardening in raised beds over in my greenhouse-ish thing. And I need to go into that now. But I had forgotten about them. And I was looking up how to make your own fertilizer, and looking especially for phosphorus. And I know that bananas have potassium, but apparently they have phosphorus too. And I came across this website that said take a couple banana peels, like fresh ones, and steep them in a quart of water for like about a week. And I thought, wait a minute, I used to dry the banana peels that I was going to use for some fertilizer for what I was thinking potassium. So I came out here into the shop and found my ice cream bucket full of dried chopped up banana peels. And I've got about a quart of water or so. And I think that's probably at least 2 banana peels worth. And if it's not, hey, I've got a whole bunch. Let's go ahead and put in more. Oops. Now I'm going to steep this for it's dried. I'm going to steep it for a day, and I may end up using it because I want to use my. I need some some phosphorus on my tomato plants. I think it needs some extra because that's another thing I was looking up on what tomato plants need it to help grow, and I don't want to put my other fertilizers that I have a lot of nitrogen in them, and I don't want to make any more green growth. Anyway, we'll see how that works. Go ahead and seal it up, and hopefully it won't leak too bad. A little bit, but hey, get that mixed up, let that steep, and hey, maybe that'll work. Alrighty, more garden updates. I don't know if I'm going to do several shorts or I'll jam them all together. But hey, I got some sweet potatoes. Some sweet potatoes were sprouting in my kitchen, and I thought, hey, maybe I ought to just grow these. I tried to do some regular potato starts, which I actually haven't checked in a while, which I need to go check, but they weren't sprouting. I saw it from Sarah at Big Blue House Homestead, and she was also doing some sprouts too, but anyway, these just sprouted on their own. So anyway, I went and double checked Sarah's videos on planting sweet potatoes, but she had about doing the starts. I didn't see about planting, but I found Survival Gardener had something about planting sweet potatoes, and he had done, just stuck them into some moist potting soil, and actually some ends that had been cut off in the kitchen, and that's what I'm just doing here. And I don't know if I'm going to put the stuff sideways, because that way, if it's supposed to be, if it's supposed to be top or bottom, at least it's whatever. It's sort of the direction it's supposed to be. Anyway, I'm putting those in there, and I'm gonna go set them out on my porch. My front porch seems to be my new gardening start area. So hey, we'll see how those go. Here on my porch, I've got some more plant starts. I had actually tried planting, direct seeding some lavender and rosemary and basil and valerian also over there, and none of it came up. So I'm gonna have done it in a starter tray, just doing it outside and in the warm instead of inside and in the cold. But I've got basil already coming up, but the other 3 are take a while to germinate. But something else I have also, you probably can't read it, it's Marconi peppers. I started some of those way back when, which you might have seen, it seems like ages ago, but transplanted them out in the garden, and then they died. And then I reseeded some directly in the garden, and they never came up. So I went ahead and added some here. I'm really looking forward to having those peppers. I bought them from Sarah at the Big Blue House Homestead, and they came highly recommended. And they make large sweet peppers, so I'm looking forward to them. But anyway, hey, one more thing going on in the garden. Well, as I mentioned before, at least I think I have, the Bermuda grass is coming up in my back to Eden garden. So something I'm going to try. Originally I tried burning it, but that's when I didn't have any plants here. And it actually, the really blasting torch throws too much heat around, it'll damage the plants, and the little fine one like you would use for soldering, it just takes too long. So what I'm going to try is sawdust. I've collected sawdust from woodworking and put it in my compost. I noticed that if you don't sprinkle it around in everything, you can't, it doesn't break down. If you throw it in a big clump, there's a big clump of sawdust that just stays there, even if it gets wet. So I thought, hey, maybe it'll clump over and at least help control this. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, what the heck? I'm going to go ahead and just dump this on here. Now, I'm going to put it on pretty thick because it does need to kind of clump. I may have to water it in then, which is kind of watering the darn plant, but it's, hey, we'll see what happens. Jeez. Maybe I should have torn some of the stuff out first. Actually, yeah, I'll do that and then finish putting this on. Okay, gonna give this I'm gonna mist water onto it. Just kind of blowing it around. Want it to kind of compact and get a skin so the wind won't blow it away. I don't want to put so much water on it that it goes and waters the darn Bermuda grass down below. Let's see how that works. And I should just go ahead and give it some real water. There, that should probably be enough. And do it to a few more spots here, and we'll see how that works. I'll keep you posted.